posting another video. This time, it's about George W. Bush. Now, I know a lot of people have been giving him crap since his last days in office, only about, 3 weeks ago now. And people are pointing out what he did right, what he did wrong, that new movie that's coming out called W. First of all, I'd like to say to all you people who hate George W. Bush, screw you. The man had to live up to his father's legacy, and, that's pretty tough when your dad's president, right? So, that's gotta be hard, His dad probably paid him through college, the Ivy League and all that. He never got the material he needed to know. And he's probably a good businessman, like they said, but taking on such a big financial, budget, it's just probably really stressful, And he is a normal guy. He likes to party. He did drink beer. He was an alcoholic, but he was just a party boy, I guess. But he wasn't a bad guy. I think it's America that did not do what they needed to, because we actually live in a country where you get paid to do nothing. What is it called? Something check, I don't know. Anyway, you get paid to do nothing. How lazy is that? Huh? And then all these Mexicans coming in, that's ruining the economy for the normal person. They're blaming Bush. He put up a fence, but he didn't. Then he had the eco people on his ass about, you can't do this, you can't do that. So then he just, whenever the Mexicans outside the border, they would just send them back to Mexico. And that didn't do very well, as you can see. And also, the financial crisis is the banks, not the banks, but the people who hand out the loans' fault. They should not be giving out loans to people who have practically no credit. And if you don't have good credit, that's your own fault. It shows that you aren't a responsible person enough to get this loan. So how can you be responsible enough to take off your own business, right? And these people are just getting pampered and stuff. They're talking about how much money they need to save up and pay off this debt. They'd go over there to $444,000 weekend spa treatment. I don't even know if I'll make that much in my lifetime. Damn. What the hell did they get? Relaxing them, man. You need to relax the country, because we're going through hell right now. This is like the next Great Depression. And I'm afraid the economic bailout plan will not work, because the government's going to be paying off all the debts, and from my hear, that gives all the control to the government, not the banks, really. And if all this control goes to the government, well then, that there's going to be some corrupt deals going on. You don't have to be smart to know that there are corrupt people that lie to you that are in the government. That all politicians are corrupt, even George W. Bush, I'll have to admit. But, this is the people's fault. Even though people are getting rallied up about Barack Obama and John McCain, they aren't taking enough interest in their own, town elections. They don't pay enough attention as they should. And that goes up to the whole process. And personally, what I think we need to do is get younger people in there. Because the old politicians all just want money. Lived up before they die. I think if the government just bails out the, banks and stuff, and if they just give the control back and they make some kind of policy where you can't have bad credit, that would help. and we cut off all liability checks, or whatever they're called, to people that don't do anything, sit on their ass all day. We cut that off, and we start using alternative resources here in America, and we produce energy like the Windy City windmills and stuff like that. We could even put power plants down in Mexico that are solar energy, and they'd be so close, to the equator. That'd pack up a lot of energy. We could pay the Mexicans minimum wage, since what goes down there from America is like double, and that would keep the eco people off our ass and stuff. That would keep the Mexicans at bay, probably. Keep them from having to go all the way to America, risking their lives and stuff. And if we just start making that, bring it up here either for our energy, we can actually start cutting off oil supply, sell it to other countries like $1 cheaper or something than what the Middle Eastern countries are selling it for. And people will buy it because even if it's just $1, it's going to be safer and cheaper. Just get it from America. And I think that would help a lot. And with that money, we could use to start making products here in the U.S. again. Cut off all supply from China and stuff that are useless, like PS3, that is utterly useless. We can make our own devices. And once we start doing that, we'll save up a lot of money. The American dollar will go up. They'll have money for things like schools again. And we just kind of cut off all the lotto people who support the schools and all that kind of things. We just cut all that off. They keep their money. They're kept happy because we start selling stuff in other countries. With that money we get from the oil, we just start producing stuff over here. Start giving that to other countries for like another $1 cheaper than what other countries are selling it for. They know they'll get it safe, reliable, and I think that would really solve a lot in America's problem right now. I think this is something that the presidents should probably, talk about, because they seem to be avoiding questions. John McCain is Republican, and I guess he's alright. Barack Obama, not much experience, but he knows how to give a good speech. Personally, I was a Hillary Clinton fan. And what really ticked me off was he got a lot of votes, probably more, and it just had to do with those superdelegates. So, when did people lose the right, to choose who can be president? When did it become the government's issue? This is for the people. The government shouldn't have that much control and saying who gets to be president and who don't for the Democratic Party. I was watching Barack Obama until he chose Biden, who I've heard nothing of. If he chose Hillary, he would have definitely won, or he might win. I don't know what's going to happen. But they need to make up their minds quick about what they're going to do. And also Sarah Palin, she ain't done much, but she does know how to juggle stuff, that's for sure. And that's what a president needs, is someone to help juggle all the things they got. John McCain, he knows what it's like to be tortured with unspeakable things happen to him. Barack Obama, I'll give him credit for, getting stuff done, kind of. Making people believe they can make a difference. That's a good thing. I don't know anything about Biden right now, but either way, I think George W. Bush did a very good job as president. One thing he messed up on was invading Iraq. We should have only invaded Afghanistan. But I'm kind of a pro-war supporter and kind of an anti-war supporter. And I just think he did a very good job. It's America who's getting lazy. And the fact that we had a president who was just a normal guy who wanted to live up to his father's name like most of us, right? So, I don't know how to say it, but, good job, Mr. President.